This was over 40 years ago. And those words changed my life. It was at that moment that I decided that I wanted to come to America and that I wanted to dedicate my life to science and to technology. Who were these people who had put a man in a box and sent him 250,000 miles away to land on a rock and did it flawlessly the very first time? What vision, what perseverance, what ingenuity. I wanted to be one of you. And so that's how my journey started. And what's really amazing about that is if you look at what you have in your pocket now, an iPhone, for example, this thing has more computing capacity than the entire NASA space program had when we sent man to the moon. And there's a couple of billion people walking around the planet now with more computing capacity than the entire NASA space program. And we're the capital of the state that invented all of that. Just think about it. So this is about more than basketball. It's about creating a 21st century city, a 21st century franchise. I call it NBA 3.0. And you guys are amazing. This is the most amazing fan base on the planet. Truly amazing. And it's you guys that made all of this happen. And I promise you that we recognize that at the end of the day, this is your team. And we're going to work really, really hard to make you guys proud. So we got the best city in America, we got the best mayor in America, we got the best president pro tem in America, all standing right here. And what I'd like to do is introduce you now to the best GM in America. And he, come on. So after the deal closed, I had a lot of hard work to do. And our coach is here, and I shook hands with him even before the deal closed. And I had spent a couple of years getting to know Coach Malone, and he's really amazing. So we're very, very lucky to have Mike Malone as our coach. But then we started a search for a GM, and the Sacramento Kings deserve the best GM. And I talked to dozens of people, famous people, celebrities. Everybody wanted this job. Everybody wanted to come work for you guys in Sacramento. And on the final day, I had a whole set of interviews set up with my candidates that had made the final cut. But I had one guy that I had never spoken to, and I just, as a favor to a friend, I said, well, I'm going to talk to this guy. He's never been a GM, and he's not going to be it, but I'll just do it. So then when he came in, he doesn't really look like a basketball player. So I was like, okay. And then we spent the next 2 hours, and I did that to every candidate. I spent hours and hours. I did everything but give them an IQ test. And I have to tell you, this guy absolutely blew me away. And the 3 questions I always ask when I want somebody to join me in a journey, in an adventure: who's the smartest guy in the room? Who's the hungriest guy in the room? And who's the most passionate guy in the room? And we got him. Pete. Thank you.
I was so excited when I accepted the job and I was offered the job, and every time I hear you speak, I get more excited about this opportunity and the chance here. It's unbelievable. I don't know if you know this, Vivek. I had my negotiation hat on. You called me. I was at that fancy hotel down in LA, and I was. I definitely when I get myself in the role, I'm like, that's it. I'm negotiating, and we were negotiating our deal, and I acted pretty cool, I think. Like I got, just so you know, to explain how excited I was. I think those ceilings were 20 feet high. And have you ever dreamed of flying? Like you could, I swear, I thought my hand was going to touch it, and I wasn't even close. I think I got 3.5 inches off the ground. But it's an unbelievable thing for me. I'm so excited about this job and this community. I'm blown away by Sacramento. I had been in the Bay Area, but everyone I meet on the street, I can't believe the support and the love for this team, and I join you in that. I can promise you one thing, and I'm not going to talk long because apparently my wife didn't like how long I spoke at my press conference. I can promise you one thing, and I mean this with everything I have. There'll be no staff that works harder to get this thing to championship level. And I joined Mike Malone in that, and I know he's made some hires already that are unbelievable, and we are going to have a staff that works, and that's the only way to get better is to work, and we work tirelessly. And there's one goal in this thing. There's one goal. I got here by working. I really got here by working, and it blows me away. But that even more reinforces my feeling for that. We need to do that. I'm going to be accessible to everyone at any time. I look forward to seeing you guys at games. I look forward to seeing you guys on the street. Please, anytime, grab me. I love basketball. I love talking basketball. I love talking about life. So I'm here. I'm excited, and I just can't wait for this thing to start, and it starts right now. Thank you so much.
Woo! Steve Alessandro, everybody. So along the fight, as our new GM mentioned, there was tireless work that was going on. We heard of a lot of it and didn't hear of a lot of it as well. We knew there were people that were wildly committed to what needed to happen here in Sacramento. And some of these people have been wildly committed to this area for years, for decades. And our next guest who's going to come up is one of those people. He exemplifies that commitment, that passion, and the energy we needed to get this project done. Ladies and gentlemen, my honor to bring up Senator Darrell Steinberg.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much. What an honor it is to be here, and I want to thank my colleague Roger Dickinson for being here as well, member of the State Assembly, longtime champion for this project as well. Vivek, to listen to you and to listen to Pete, I couldn't be more excited, and of course to be with the mayor and to play a small role in this. I'm just very happy where we're at, but I want to tell a little story. So, earlier in the week, the mayor and I made a bet. And it was a bet for breakfast. I took the Spurs, he took the Heat. Last night, I actually went home early because I'm a big basketball fan myself, to watch the game with my 16-year-old son and his friends. And we were going crazy. And as the game proceeded, as in San Antonio had a 10-point lead, I wrote the mayor by text and I said, I would like an egg white omelet with extra potatoes, extra toast. And then when Miami came back, he says, what are you talking about? And then when San Antonio took the lead again, I wrote him back, and he went back and forth with me, and in the end I had to say, well, I'll just have a half a bagel and a cup of coffee. But we were so excited last night. I was sitting with my boy, and we were so excited about what was going on and the drama and who was going to win the NBA title and who was going to pull that thing out. And it made me think about how much Sacramento deserves that exact same experience. And how because of what you have done and what this fan base has done and what the mayor has done and what Vivek and the team have done, that we are going to have that opportunity in hopefully just a few short years to have that same drama and excitement in the capital city of the 9th largest economy in the entire world. And we deserve it because the fans here have stood with the Kings. And Pete, you already know this, and you'll know it even more the more you're here. I'm not a native of this community. I moved up here for a job and I never left because there is something incredibly special about this place. And it's represented in this fan base that fights, that supports its team through thick and thin. And it may take a little while, we understand it, but all of you who were part of the fight to keep the Kings here, it's now time to fight to make sure that they succeed. We continue the record that was broken a little bit, but we go back to the record of sellouts and we get prepared for $1 billion investment in downtown Sacramento and 50 more years of Kings greatness in this town. Thank you so much for
Manager Pro Tem, Darryl Steinberg. So I've had the opportunity tonight to introduce some amazing people. I've had the opportunity over my 12 or so years of announcing basketball to introduce some incredible professional athletes. But how do you introduce the guy that saved our town? Right? I mean, seriously, give me a freaking break for a second, right? I have Jeff David and I were talking about this. We both have young children, about 3-year-old children. They're going to be reading local history books in public school one day that were rewritten because of what this man did for us, for this city, and for this region. Ladies and gentlemen, the best mayor in the universe. Give it up for Kevin Johnson!
All right, thank you all for coming out. Thank you so much for coming out. I want to first just thank all the electeds here. There's a lot of electeds in the room. Pro Tem, Roger, council members, etc. So if you wouldn't mind, just giving the electeds a round of applause. Secondly, I want to thank, there's a lot of King owners here, and one of the things that Vivek did is broaden the base of ownership, so that way it wasn't just 1 or 2 people or one family. It was really a community that owned the team. And I'm going to thank Vivek in a moment, but if you guys wouldn't mind, just giving a round of applause for all the owners. So I was trying to figure out what I would say here that would put all this in perspective. And for me, I remember a little over a year ago, I was watching a 30 for 30 series on ESPN, and it was about the band that would not die. Did anybody watch that or remember this story? And it basically, the story went like this. The Baltimore Colts had a football team, and the team wasn't doing so well. This is 1984. And in the middle of the night, these moving trucks pulled up and packed up the Baltimore Colts' whole organization, their equipment and everything, and put in a truck, a fleet of vans, and in the middle of the night, secretly left town. And the next morning, those diehard fans in Baltimore woke up in shock and were in dismay and could not believe that they lost their football team. And I remember watching that, just my heart went out to Baltimore, because how devastating that would be to a community to have your team stolen from you in the middle of the night. This 30 for 30 series goes on, and the title of it is The Band That Wouldn't Die. And this marching band, the Baltimore Colts marching band, despite not having a team, they kept marching. I mean, think about that. They played in Thanksgiving parades. They played in every civic event that they could. They started getting a following. Then they started playing at halftimes in NFL games around the country. This marching band just kept going and going and going. The irony of this is these band members did not get paid. They were 150 strong, and they marched on without a team for 12 years. 12 years. You think about the faith and the tenacity and the commitment that these marching band members had. lo and behold, after 12 years, they finally get a team. And I was thinking when I was watching that, there is no way I'm interested in marching for 12 years to try to get a team that we once had, because it went to, where was it? Anaheim? No. Virginia Beach? No. Vancouver? No. Las Vegas, Kansas. This team has been in almost every city in America. And then the last place that it almost ended up being was in Seattle. And all of you in this room today are a part of a band in Sacramento. All of you in here are a part of a band that makes up this great community in Sacramento. And the drum major and the leader of that band is Vivek Ranadive. And Vivek, you heard him speak, right? You heard him. And who was not in awe of listening to this guy speak? He went into the owner's room of NBA owners and he wooed them just like he did us. And they were all scratching their head talking about, what is 3.0? And then he started explaining it in like engineer language. Then he said, okay, let me put it in Silicon Valley language. All they knew it meant that the NBA pie was going to get bigger and they were going to make more money, so they thanked Vivek for improving their investment. But let me put Vivek in perspective for folks in this room here today. One story puts it in perspective. About the 4th week of March this last year, City Council voted 7-2 to invest $258 million in a brand new arena that will transform the city forever. And our city and our council did that, $258 million of public investment. At this point in time, our offer was about $425 or $450, and the Seattle offer was $525. You guys remember that? And I think the commissioner came out with some quotes. No, I better not talk about the commissioner. Let me rephrase that. I'm going to skip that part of the story. I love David Stern. I get a call after the council vote from Vivek. And he said, Mayor, I'm so excited that your team and your community and your council members stepped up to do such a courageous thing by investing in his team. I will make you a personal guarantee tonight that we will not lose this team. I will pay whatever it takes to keep the team in Sacramento. No wonder I was always smiling and walking around somewhat confidently. Let's give Vivek another round of applause. Seriously, thank you. That is when I knew that he was the real deal. The real deal. One other person I want to signal out is Darryl Steinberg. I want you to know that Vivek said that Sacramento and California, the 7th largest economy in the world. Then our senator comes up and calls it the 9th largest. Before he got in office, it was the 7th, and now it's the 9th largest. I just want to clear it up for the record. He's almost done, so I expect it to climb back to number 7 soon. Yeah, please.
I knew it was like 7, 8, or 9, but 7 is our lucky number.
There we go.
And what will you pick?
And I was number 7 as well. So Vivek said he knew it was 7, 8, or 9, but he knew 7 was our lottery pick and it was a lucky number, and he said, hey, I'm going with 7. So absolutely good. But on a serious note with Darryl, when we went to New York April 3rd, I talked to him the night before, 2 nights before, and I said, can you come out? And he said, I got budget hearings, I have all these things going on. He took a red eye and flew out to New York and did an unbelievable job fighting for our community. Everybody in here has that commitment. We're a part of a very special band, and we get it. It's bigger than basketball. So Darryl, I just want to thank you for that commitment as well. So I'll say 3 things, and then we'll get on with the rest of the day. There are so many people in the Kings organization, Matina and everybody in here. One big thank you to you as well. You put on a very impressive event. And I want to say it's clear to everybody in here, there's a new era. It's a new era. The old era, if you did a survey to Kings fans, they would say the 3 reasons why they quick coming out to games, not in any particular order. Number one, they weren't super excited about the ownership. Number two, they felt the building was outdated and old. And number three, they felt the product, the basketball team on the court, left a lot to be desired. Well, I am here to tell you in this new era, we have new ownership and new vision. That is the first big step for our community. He has already picked an unbelievable leadership team. I want to thank Pete for his leadership. You have a new GM who's, you better put a good product on the court, let's be clear. I mean, all these pleasantries will go away really quickly if you don't put a good winning team on the court. So he's going to do that. Where's Mike? Where's Mike Malone? Where's he? Look, I know you're shy in Bashville. You got to come up here for a sec. Come on up here. Woo! Mike Malone. Congratulations, Coach. Very proud. So Vivek did this early. He gets a GM and he gets a head coach. It's a new era in Sacramento. And this new era is going to put a winning product on the court that's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be a team that you can identify with. You guys remember those glory days and how good it used to be to play in Arco Arena. Not quite as good in power balance. We're just glad we were playing in Sleep Train. But you're going to have a brand new arena down here, and that's what I mean by a new era. New ownership, new leadership here, put a great product that's going to play in a brand new building. My challenge to everyone in here today is that we want to be an elite franchise. We don't just want to be a normal NBA. That's not what our fight is about. Our fight was not to just be normal. Our fight was not to just be mediocre. Our fight was not to just hold on. Our fight was not to just be satisfied. We want a great product on the court, which we know we're going to get, but we need you fans to step up again as well. So when I say elite, here's what I mean. I played in arenas around the country. I was lucky enough to play in 29 of them. And I saw fans in the intensity. I've seen fans fight so hard that they actually make a difference in the outcome of a game. Everybody says, oh, we got the great fans. Oh, the sixth man makes it. In Sacramento, everybody in the NBA talked about the fans in Sacramento. They did not want to come here, not just because of those cowbells, but they didn't want to come here because the team was good and the fans were unbelievable. The energy, the intensity, the unity that our fans, we need to bring that back, those glory days. So a new era, we know, we want to be an elite franchise. We sold out back in those days. We sold out every single year. 19 of 27 seasons, we sold out. And we only made the playoff 10 times. We're not fair weather fans. We are fans that support our team. And I'm proud of that. So what I want us to do here today is starting today, we want to make a commitment to sell out this next season. And you know what? Pete and Mike, we're going to give you one season to put a really great product on the court. So I'm giving you 1 year to get it together. Vivek, we okay? Vivek said they don't even get a year. So I need everybody in here. Normally around the NBA, if you get 10,000 season tickets, you are an elite franchise. 10,000. I like us to go a little high. I like us to exceed expectations. So our challenge, 12,000. If we get 12,000, we become an elite premier team in the NBA. That is who we are. That's who I want us to be. You in here today got to buy your season tickets. You got to tell other people to do it. You put a good product on the court. You guys, I've all talked to over the last couple of years. And you've all said it. Man, if you get the good owners that are committed and build a brand new building, we'll come back and buy season tickets. And I've talked to people in here today who are already doing it. So that's our goal, 12,000. Because if we do that, Commissioner Stern will say he made the right decision by convincing the other owners that Sacramento deserved a second chance in this community. And now that we have a second chance, we've got to deliver on it. So I'm counting on you, everyone here today. We need to get to 12,000. Buy your season tickets. Tell folks. And Mike and Pete are going to do their part to make sure that we have a good product on the court. So without any further ado, thank you very much. And long live the King.
Long live the King. Long live the Kings! Long live
Ladies and
the
gentlemen, let's
Kings!
hear it for Kevin Johnson! Always has a chant at the end. That is going to wrap it up. Obviously, the challenge, hopefully accepted, and it can be accepted by you tonight. We have a couple of ticket sales tables located at each end. We have reps all over the place willing to help you out, help you be